he not little anymore, but my little cousin John, because he was the baby. He was always baby Jesus until another baby came along, and then they became baby Jesus, right? And so we were doing it. Now my cousins stopped doing it. And sometimes look, they stopped doing it. Like, I was in college still doing the Christmas play.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I was still doing it.
So when did the Christmas play start? At what age?
Oh man, I know at least 9.
So you did a Christmas play from 9 all the way to how far in college did you stop?
18, 19.
So you like your sophomore year in college?
Yeah, more like my freshman year, because the freshman year when I got on the college campus, that's when I found out about a whole lot of stuff. So yeah, I got with the theater folks, and not like the theater here at South Carolina State University, because our students here, they are so wholesome and kind. But the people I was with, is y'all, oh my. I was introduced, as my aunt likes to say, that I came back home realizing that I was Black. And I was like, oh, I'm shocked. And you wouldn't believe that because I'm so urban now, right? But I went to primarily white institutions all of my educational life. So when I left home, I wasn't like knee deep in the culture, but just the regular culture or whatever, you know. Yeah. But then when I went to Shaw, I came back with slang, a little walk, and a whole different ball game from my neighborhood. Because my neighborhood was primarily African Americans and everything, but I was all over the place, did a lot of different things and stuff like that. So, but man, when I came home, it was like, oh Lord, she found out she was Black.
So did you make a sort of effort to go to a HBCU, or the HBCU just happened to go to a HBCU?
Well, I don't even know if it was a conscious decision to make it a HBCU. It was a conscious decision to leave Greensboro. Okay. Because see, Greensboro has been in college, which is an all-girls school, and I wasn't doing that. And they had North Carolina A&T, but my aunt was there. People knew it was like, and I wasn't doing that. So I was like, when Shaw came, and this is the thing, no offense to Shaw, I love Shaw, they're doing some great things, but when Coach Al, I forgot his last name, Coach Al, he showed us the brochures were so pretty, they were in color. I like, this is what I'm gonna do, and I feel like I got a hookup and a connection. And when we came to campus, my brother drove us on campus, and we kept driving around this place because we didn't have the GPS then. We just had the maps, right? So we go right here, and this is where it was saying we were supposed to be, but there was no sign. And my brother kept saying, no, this your school right here. I said, that's not my school. He said, no, this your school. He said, your school look like Good Times. And I was like, I started crying, and they don't pull me in and put my stuff in my room. And I was crying. And my mom was like, you're going to be okay, baby. Because I had won a scholarship from the Deltas. I was in the Jabberwock, Miss Jabberwock, and I placed second in the talent portion. Now, check this out. The year before, my sister was in the Jabberwock pageant. She wrote a speech and I performed it, and we won first place. Oh, ain't that something? Now the next year when I was competing, I got second place, but there was a reason why, but I don't want to say why.
Hey, we all remember those losses. However they come, whatever form, whether it's theater, sports. Yes. Remember those losses.
Yes. And it wasn't a bad loss. The person who won first place had some special circumstances. She was good, but I felt like I might have had, edged out a little bit, but there was some other things happening, and I understand why they gave it to her. But now, on the other hand, once I went to Shaw and discovered all kinds of things within the first, my first week there, how about this for a college experience? A girl who had beat me down in the 6th grade ended up being my best friend.
That's life.
Ain't that something?
That's life. That story is actually more common. Yeah. Especially at that age bracket. They'd be like 6. Those stories are common because then you grow up. Man, why we have fight?
Right. But yeah, but I dumped her like after we became friends. Cause let me tell you something. This is why I tell all the people, don't make no fast friends.
Yeah.
Fast friends end up being something. And I didn't understand that concept. So I made fast friends and found out they had went and told everything. You know how you just pour out your heart. And it was this beautiful, lovely young man named Butch. But we were doing this thing like, oh, that's my brother. He my brother. But I was telling him, ain't he cute? But they went and told Butch everything. Everything I said.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a Tyler Perry movie.
Woo, bro. Let me just tell you something. I'm not even scraping some of the stuff that really happened, right? Of course not. I just tell you this stuff. But when this stuff come out, it's like sometimes on Facebook, people will hit my inbox or ask me something. Hey, how you doing? And I just be like, ooh, I'm going to make $1 million off of you.
So you didn't even know the story that, and I'm about to change your name. I'm about to put a W in front of it. Yes. Because you won't be coming back at it. And I'm saying, loosely based on a true story.
Loosely based, inspired by a true story. Events. Yeah, true events. So like I've been doing theater and I've been acting for a long time, and doing oration and doing things like that. And one of the things that I also got into through my church was being in the it's a African American history quiz bowl.
Okay.
And so I made the top score of the city. Yes, and so the councilwoman wrote a little letter and they put it in my file, and I was just so happy about that. And I ain't never seen the letter that I can remember, but I was told she put it in my file or whatever. So those kind of things when I grew up in the church and everything, I left and came back. You know how we make these journeys, we go here and there. And
that's slow it down.
Okay.
That's not gonna fall. That's slow it down. Okay. Okay. So you at Shaw. At that point, did Shaw have a theater program that kind of fit your needs at that particular point in your life?
Right. It was a theater program.
Okay.
I want to tell you about the theater program at Shaw University, what it gave me. And this is what we talk to our students about. At Shaw, their theater program was housed in, like on a train, they have like the caboose or like the little thing. When you see the train, you see the little compartment things or whatever. And I think that's what it was. Like they took one of those and put it on the ground and put some foundation on it or something. But it was some old school functional buildings and stuff. That's where our theater was. Then they moved us into a house on the corner outside of the gates of the school. But what I learned in that environment is I learned how to do everything. I learned how to write. I wrote my first play when I was 17, and in a creative writing class, and we actually performed it.
Wow.
Yeah, my teacher let me perform it. And
how was that feeling at that?
Oh man, it was something because I had this story. Of course, my story it was more mainstream than it was urban. Okay. And it was a really good, and I took the story of Jack and Jill and twisted around and told what happened after they came up after they fell down the hill, what happened. Okay. Yeah, and everything. And my creative writing teacher, he loved it, and it's great, and I still have the script somewhere. So yeah, I keep on the things. Right, so that was the first time. But at Shaw, I learned how to hang lights. I learned how to paint sets. I learned how, because we didn't have a theater, so we would take the ballroom and transformize. I was good, Jesse Jackson. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. This is what I do. We transformize the ballroom into a theater space. We did our own performances. We wrote stuff. We did a lot of stuff, and a lot of people that I went to school with are out there doing great things. But what we learned in the struggle was that art can be beautiful, no matter how you started, no matter where it comes from. And what that did for me is it gave me a skill set that other people didn't have. Because see, I could do anything.
But you could do it all.
Yes, I could do it, but I could take 2 toothpicks
and make something out of it
and do a whole show.
So when you